Hi there, welcome to another PDM vlog. Today we're going to be talking about making some creature sounds for Sam's film Remain. Now, I'm not talking about this from the perspective of an expert. This is the first time I've done it, but I thought we'd just walk through what we did and how we came up with the sounds. Sam was looking for something original and a little bit different. So instead of going down the more generic route of just getting something off the web, we decided to design something from scratch. And I must admit, it was a huge amount of fun. So let's just talk through how we did that. So first off, we had a mixture of audio and synth-based sounds, which we blended together. So I've basically set them up in this project so that I can run it through and you can hear what we did. But let's just talk a little bit about some of the sort of processes we went through. So for the audio, we used Cubase, which is our go-to tool, but Cubase has this particularly useful function called Direct Offline Processing, which is basically their non-destructive audio editor. So the sounds that are used, we needed three different types of sound. We need a kind of call sound, a kind of hunting sound, and an attack sound. So those three different sounds. Now we ended up doing slight variations of each, so you weren't using the same sound if you need it twice. But this gives you an idea of the basic kind of sound setup. I started out with some synth sounds, which I really liked, gathered those together, but then wanted something a bit more organic and a bit more animal-like. So I grabbed hold of some samples off an old sound effects CD and was experimenting with some of the animal sounds in terms of pitch shifting them and reversing them and time stretching them. So the call sound, we had this recording of geese and ducks honking. The hunt sound was sheep and goats bleating, and the attack sound was a horse whinnying. So what's been done to these? So for example, the geese and duck sounds, we pitch shift, it's mainly pitch shifting and time stretching. There's a bit of sort of tweaking and fade outs in there to get the bit of the sample we wanted. Same with the sheep, it's mainly pitch shift and time stretch. So each modification you make, you can do all the editing in the window, in the direct offline processing window. And you can also take these in and out to see what difference they make. So you can sort of switch in and out your various changes. And also that you can apply them to the whole file or little sections of it, which is pretty handy. So you do quite a lot of sort of mangling and modification to the file. So for the horse, again, time stretch and pitch shift mainly. A bit of gain and fade out to isolate the bit we want. So that was those are the audio samples, and we also, for the audio samples, added some effects. So for the call sound, the geese and ducks, we had Steinberg's distortion plugin on a blues harmonica setting, which gave it a bit of kind of a raw kind of edge, which I quite liked. For the sheep and goat sound, we used Steinberg's quadrafuzz, a setting called EU to our bender, which just seemed to work really nicely. And for the attack sound, the horse sample, we used Steinberg's Destroyer distortion plugin, a preset called Fresh Shuttle Bite, which just gave it a little bit of the edge I wanted. So those original audio files have been fairly heavily mangled. So to that, we added various synth sounds, and it turned out there was 2 synth sounds per sample. So first up, we used quite a bit of good old Dark Planet. So again, Steinberg Dark Planet. I've got it running here in Halion Sonic SE3, but you can run it independently. But if I'm using multiple examples, I usually run it within SE3. It's easy to handle. So there's this preset called Planet Menu Amos. It's got various sounds on across the keyboard. But we found this particular one which we really liked. Same for the hunt sound, we had a preset called Planet Noise, number 6, which just fitted in perfectly. And then there's also a bit of pad shop in there. So pad shop, again, which like Dark Planet, is really good for coming up with some unusual and sci-fi type sounds. So the other synth sound within call sound was a setting from Halion Sonic's basic set called Nightmare House. So for the attack sound, again, we used Pad Shop, and this particular preset is it's called Apocalypse, and we've used it quite a lot. So I used this in a film that Sam did for one of his uni projects called Justice, and it's got a really good, it's like a howl, really interesting sort of howl sound. So that was just perfect for the attack sound. The other thing we used on the attack sound was this CMI. So this Arturia CMI, and had this preset called Eating Paper, which we slightly modified. And that just again seemed to fit with what we wanted. So those are the kind of main sound sets. So what we've got in the project is we've got the audio file and each synth sound separately, then the whole combined sound. And we've got one example of the call sound, one example of the hunt sound, one example of the attack. The other thing that we did with these various sounds is that the call sound was required to sound quite far away, the hunt sound kind of middle distance, and the attack sound quite near. So we've basically automated the reverb and brought the reverb level down for each one, which is what's going on here, to give it that sense of being more near and more kind of close. So that's the project. What we'll do is just run that through, and as per usual, we'll do an audio dump and slice that into the project. So let's run through. So there you go. That's our first foray into creature sound designing, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you liked it, hope you got something from it. Any comments or opinions or views, then by all means post them down below. And well, till next time, see you later.